Well, it looks this time we did get a proper fade out on the music. So that's amazing. Hey everyone, welcome to a hands-on orchestral tools today, because they have released a brand new update for their Benjamin Wallfisch Strings. And that's not a small update by any means. Let's switch over here. There we go. It is huge. It is really huge. 300 gigabytes of data update if you go for all the mic positions. We were talking about that. But they listened. They really listened, because when they released Benjamin Wallfisch Strings, which I don't have on the screen here right now, that is something I need to take care of immediately. We cannot do this. Orchestral tools. There we go. No, not drones, not drones. Home. There we go. Mr. Wallfisch, his strings. So let's get the facts out of the way. Right now, they have a 25% off sale if you want to grab it because they have released the update. So it's $5.99 plus VAT. Regular price $7.99. It does come at a pretty steep price for sure. We will dig into that during the course of today to see whether that's justified. I mean, it's justified anyway because they are a company and they set their own prices. But we will talk about what the package entails. And what is it? It is, as they call it, a new approach to sampling because no loops in the longs and also up and down bow separated. And yeah, Divisi sections. For each string section, we get the Tutti violins 1 and then violins A, violins B for the same section. So 14 violins and then 7 and 7. So it's basically 3 string libraries in one. But so far, it had a big issue because the Divisi sections did not contain the same articulations as the Tutti sections. So there were no shorts in the Divisis, which was a bit of a bummer when this whole library released, because it kind of stands a little bit in a way of ultimate usability and like having these sections work together when there are articulations missing. That's kind of a... Didn't really work out. But anyway, they listened and they have, and that's hats off to Orchestra Tools. They released this as a free update for already existing owners. So no further charge if you want to upgrade it. Just check your sign backend, your licenses, and you can download the update straight away. Now there is articulation consistency for all the patches. And what this means, we're going to take a look at that in a second. So right now, $5.99 price, created with award-winning composer Benjamin Wallfisch. This collection redefines contemporary sampled strings, setting a new standard for realism and expression. Right for strings like your World for Life orchestra, with no compromises. With a loop-free long notes, a consistently dynamic sound, Divisi for all sections, up bow and down bow strokes, 5 dynamic layers, an Atmos mic setup, and a mix curated by Benjamin Wallfisch, these strings are the new benchmark for contemporary film scoring. That's what they said. So let's dive further in. It has been recorded at Teldex, as many of their other libraries. It comes with everything but the kitchen sink in terms of microphone options. So we will look at that as well, which kind of explains the file size. This thing, if you get all the microphone positions, clocks in at a little bit over, I think, 650 gigabytes on your drive. So these strings alone are nearly as big as the entire East West collection. Just to give you a comparison there. It's crazy big, but you don't have to go that big, which is cool. Because you can select what you need, so you don't need to get all the microphone positions. And I surely don't have all the microphone positions downloaded for today because I don't have unlimited space. So I didn't have 600 gigabytes free around on a drive. Actually, my SSD crashed while installing this, so I had to get a new one. So technically I do have the space, but I didn't want to slam it with all the microphone positions that I'm probably not going to use anyway. So without further ado, let's dive in today. And maybe I should mention, of course, Orchestra Tools did send me a free copy of the library for the stream purpose and also to later use it and work with it. So so-called NFR copy, which I didn't have to pay for, but my thoughts are entirely my own. So that is in no way influenced by the fact that they gave me that library for review purposes or for showcase purposes. And the second thing is that they were so kind to provide a giveaway copy for today as well, which is pretty cool. Because on such a high-end premium product, to be able to give that away to one lucky winner for free, I think that's pretty amazing on their part. So hats off to Orchestra Tools for making that possible. And the way we're going to do this, let's get serious for a second here. The way we're going to do this is all you have to do is type exclamation mark join into the chat. And what this ultimately means is I have a little check here, check mark. Actually, I have not. Let me see. Here we go. So when I click this button, I can see, all right, we currently have 9 entries in the draw, 10. So it's probably gonna rise very, very soon. You can actually see in real time, like anytime anyone posts join, the entry numbers go up. I expect that to be a little bit higher by the end of the session. And yeah, then we will just select one random entry from that list. It's very, very non-exotic. I just hit a button and then it says, okay, winner is. So that's what we're going to do. And since YouTube works a little bit different than Facebook and all that kind of stuff, especially with usernames, sometimes people have the crudest usernames and I have no idea who is behind that username. So if your name gets chosen in the draw, please afterwards send me a message on my Facebook on the Composing Tutorials page so I can set you up with orchestral tools. All right? With that out of the way, let's just check one more time. Yep, numbers are rising, so we have 13 entries right now. Probably going to be a few more. This time I have my template open, my regular one, and I have already put most of the instruments into it for the sake of ease and better working with it. But let's create a new instance of sine to take a look at the library first, without any of the other shenanigans going on with my patches here. So this now goes straight to the stereo out with nothing in between. So that is the pure library sound, as pure as it gets. So when we look at the library interface, which is down here, cinematic, cinematic ensembles and Divisi, Benjamin Wallfisch Strings. So we have the 5 sections, violins 1, 2, violas, celli, and basses. And each of these have 3 instrument entries, which are the Tutti section and the Divisi sections. So that's 14 violins 1, 12 violins 2, 10 violas, 10 celli, and 6 basses. So pretty decent string size, string ensemble size. And let's load up the first page. Let's go with the violins Tutti. Let's load the I should show that before. We have the individual articulations and we can load these individually. So I can just drag that over and just load a single articulation, or we can load the key switch patches with everything in them, which is what I'm going to do now. So that takes a moment longer to load. And it also ramps up the RAM quite significantly and quite fast. So let's wait for this to load. I think it clocks in at 3 gigs or something like that, 2.6. But if we look at the mixer, what it has loaded is right now the close mic, the tree left, right, and the tree center. I didn't download the surround mics and the immersive ambient mics. I also did not download the raw mics. Basically, you get 2 different productions for this library, the Benjamin Wallfisch mix, which are these microphones, and then the raw recorded sound. For if you want to treat them in whatever way you feel you can do it better than Mr. Wallfisch, you have the option. I didn't download them just for the sake of saving some space. And what I really, really like about the Sine player is the possibility to merge microphones. And that's what I did here. So this DE mix is something that I created on my own. It's not really that complicated. I just added the outrigger mic and then merged the microphones. And then I get this single mic position, which means ultimately I can play the same patch with just a fourth of the RAM footprint. So just to give you an example, this is now all 4 mic positions loaded: close, tree left, right, tree center, and outrigger. Right? And if I load my mix down and turn off the other ones. First of all, from 3.6 to 800, and we get the very much same mic mix, which is pretty cool because this makes this beast of a library absolutely usable in a complete fashion. So I can basically load all the patches and don't really have to worry about system strains or anything because it's just a single mic positions that I'm using after I'm merging these. And if I don't like or need something rather intimate, just a close mix, I can still change it up and go here and just use the close mic. If I were to use more, I would probably download something later down the line with like the surround mix if need be, or immersive if I have some surround production. But for now, I didn't feel the need to. And since we're at the violins, let's take a quick listen to these microphone positions. So, like I said, all 4 that I downloaded here. And that's very similar to what you get with like Spitfire, like close, decker, and outriggers. And that's the standard setup for a lot of libraries. That's why I downloaded these positions to give me kind of the starter kit. So that is the combination of the mics. I think 7, I think I just did that, but I can talk a little bit more about it if need be. So then we have the close mic. I think I recently just played that. Probably need to beef the output a little bit. It's a little quiet, which is atypical, I would say. Sometimes they're pretty loud, but this one is rather quiet. So I'm just pushing this like 7 dB. First thing to note is that there is no vibrato control on these. So you get what you hear. There's no further control to reduce or increase the amount of vibrato on these long patches. And that is kind of a little bit self-explanatory because they went in and recorded, I think it was 20 or 25 seconds for each single note. So you don't get loops within the sample, but have a natural performance over the course of however long you hold it. And if you then would add to that like a non-VIP and a multi-VIP version, you would probably end up with a 1.5 terabyte sized library, which doesn't really make sense. So it is what it is. It's just the baked in vibrato. It is very subtle and not very heavy, which kind of remedies the fact that there's no other control in that regards. So it's very usable. Go to the sustains. We can also play polyphonically. I'm still holding. So at some point it does loop, I guess, or I haven't even tried yet if it actually fades out after whatever 20 seconds. Does your machine struggle with loading the library? Not after mixing down to the individual to just one mic position. So this is where I really love the Sign Player, the mix down functionality. This is really something that I would love to see in other players as well to be able to decide on your mix and do a mix down and have just one mic position to work with, which is so much more convenient no matter the system. But it is what it is. So here, my system is not struggling. I tried it on another track the other day where I had a lot of short notes, and I had basically all 5 sections playing short notes, sometimes 2 at the same time. So polyphonically, and then 4 mic positions, and it was pretty fast. It was like 170 upwards. And this was where my system was maxing out and gave me the finger, telling me like, dude, you can't be serious. Playing, what is it, 5 times 4? So 20 mic positions with really fast short notes in succession. At some point, it just was struggling. So, and then with the down mix, no issue at all. Didn't even sweat. So that's really cool. So the next thing that we have in this library, which is not new, but something that not many libraries have, is we can choose between up and down bow. So what this means in context is these are on 2 different key switches. Right now we can see that here's C0 and D0. So if I play just a single note, a C, there is round robin. No, there's not round robin on this single long note, which makes sense. They don't do round robin on 20-second notes. But you kind of have a round robin with changing between up and down bow. So if I play that, you can really hear a difference there in the attack. Right? So we have these 2 different directions, which in turn also means that this library requires a little bit more massaging in the back end, so to say, when you write MIDI notes and things like that, that you have to, let's add the expression map to this for the longs in this case. So when we write a line, like this, we then have to look into the expression map. And by the way, I just need to figure out to switch these. So then we have legato down that starts the phrase. But I can also say, okay, every second note is going to be legato up. So that should technically give a different sound. So you can basically create a more fluid motion, which I will be honest, I think it's a very subtle difference, but if you do that in all the sections, it just suddenly turns a little bit more live, a little bit more real than it would without. So if we do it a little bit faster, like this, change that on every, like this. For example, so then we have up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up in this case. Versus only down. So having this back and forth motion really makes it very much more fluid and yeah, real. But this is also one of the reasons why I consider this more like a programming library than a live playing library. Benjamin, would you say this is geared more for technical writing instead of fast, straight out of the box? It is not really meant for fast writing. I will try a few things and showcase up to where you can push it and where it also starts to struggle. But then for these type of scenarios, we do have specialized libraries. Let me be clear. I don't think that Benjamin Wallfisch Strings is your starter bread and butter library. I think there are other options out there that are more viable as a workhorse library. I think that the Benjamin Wallfisch Strings, and there's something for the outro, actually. I shouldn't say that right in the beginning. But I think that this is a nice to have in terms of sound, a nice add-on. And if you have it, you can really do amazing stuff with it. But I would not recommend this as a starter library because you're missing out on a few things and you have to do a little bit more massaging than with this library than with others. So it is very, very deep and very big for sure. Yeah, let me remind people who came later, there is a giveaway for this library today. And what you have to do is just head to the YouTube chat and type !join, and then you will be entered into the drawing. And right now we are looking at how many do we have? I forget that I need to switch back to this view if I want to see this. 27 right now. So there you go. !join makes you eligible for proper chance to win this library. And again, just to repeat, and I will say this in the end as well, if you don't have your real name as your YouTube handle, looking at you, AEMCC or Cosmic, I have no way of knowing who you are. So please, after the draw, head over to Facebook to the Composing Tutorials page and shoot me a message so I can hook you up with Orchestra Tools for the prize. Not saying that you win it, but if you do. So we will see it in the end. Who is the random lucky winner? Back to topic. So that is the main approach in terms of these sampled up and down legatos. Just giving you one more of an example here. So that would be all down versus all up versus interchanging. I think that's quite a remarkable difference. All right, let's quickly look at the actual articulations that have been part of this Tutti library before, and now with the update are part of the whole library. So we have the legatos, we talked about that. We have the sustains, which is the same as the legato, just without the legato and polyphonic. There we go. We have 5 dynamic layers for this library, starting from very piano. Actually, let me hold a chord or hold a few notes and then really fade through the different dynamics. Really, really smooth, that transition between the different dynamics. If you want to, I think you have the niente option somewhere here where you can fade to silence if you prefer that. Here, there we go, niente. Then you can. That looks like a bug. It does not niente. Usually niente means keep your mouth shut at the end. So niente does not work. Maybe that's a bug and will be fixed in an update. If you have the library right after they released it and have not checked your licenses yet, there was an update for the Celli Tutti patch because the mic merge function did not work on this one. That is fixed. It is working now. So that's another thing. Orchestral Tools, in my opinion, is pretty fast when it comes to addressing any issues with these type of releases. So that is already fixed. And then we have the same as Apo. Right? Next one in line is Marcato. And that one is like decaying naturally. It's still mod wheel controllable, so you can still have a little bit of a fade on the Marcato articulation. And then we go into the shorts, and these have been part of the original release already. So we have Staccato. These are not mod wheel controlled, so no matter what you do on the mod wheel, they don't react. They only react to velocity. I think you can change that behavior if you like to. I'm not really sure. Crossfade. I mean, I never really wanted to control short notes with the mod wheel anyway, so I'm fine with velocity. Just to give you max velocity. Obviously, we're clipping a little here, went a little bit too far. And then we have spiccatos. Which is, to be honest, very, very short. I would consider that even a spicattissimo, but who am I to judge? It's a very short articulation. Michelle, you're very welcome. Thanks for joining the stream. Then we have Pizzicato. Can totally see using that with just the close mic. Oh, we're still listening to just the close mic all the time. Sorry for that. I forgot that. I soloed that. Actually sounds like this. That's quite a difference. So, all right. Sorry, my bad. If we listen, you can still hear the reverb tail of the room in the close mic as well. You could probably change that with the envelope. If you really need dry sound, I would probably grab the release and turn that down. My dialogue is quiet. I don't believe you. On my end, it looks fine. But yeah, let me grab the microphone. That's better? I hope so. So, a little louder. And yeah, then you can obviously change the release time based on your preferences. I should go back to the other articulations and play that with a whole mix with all the 4 mics. So we have... That is legato. I think that was the reason why we were so quiet, because I just used the close mic. Excuse my French, but these sound fucking beautiful. And this is the sound without any further processing, no additional reverb. It's just the room sound. And I didn't download the surround, so that is, I think a lot of that is the outrigger. If I mute the outrigger, that's the default mic setup that the library comes with if you go with the basic kit when you download it. And then with the outriggers. All right, now the shorts again with all the room sound glory. And then the spiccatos once more. Quick check on where we are with the entries for the giveaway. How many people have decided to join? So let's check it. 36 right now. So if you don't know how, we do have a giveaway for this library today, thanks to Orchestral Tools. And all you have to do is type !join in the chat, and at the end of the stream, we will randomly select one of the entries to be the owner of this new little gem of a library. So good luck to everyone. Back to the Pizzicatos. Now we have tremolos. And last but not least, we have trills, which is the only patch in the whole library that does have a performance controller, which lets you choose between half tone and whole tone. You can choose whichever MIDI CC is giving you that control. So if I set this to CC2, because I happen to have a controller for CC2 here. So now there I can change it between whole tone and half tone. So and again, very, very nice dynamic range. Dun, 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 dun. Kind of get the idea. That was just the violins Tutti. And to be frank, that was already available like nearly a year ago. So not so much new there. What's new is that we now get more of the same articulation-wise in the Divisis. So let's load up the violins 7A. That's the first Divisi section that has all the same controls and microphone positions. You could basically swap the MIDI between these, which is pretty cool. And I will look at a few examples of how to utilize that in a little bit. And same thing, the 4 microphone positions, if you load the entire patch, it does get a little crowded in the RAM area. So with the merge function that the Sign Player offers, you can, especially if you use all 4 mic positions, you can bring that down to like a quarter of the size. In this case, 4 mic positions or just 1 if I merge it, which I already did when working with the library. It's just much more convenient on the system to work with just one articulation, one microphone position. And there is no audible difference between the down mix and the 4 position at their current position. So actually a proof of concept. So that's all 4. Mute that. Versus so, and if I use that new mic position, we are looking at just a quarter of the RAM footprint, which is cool. Let me try to understand this question. What do you think about possibility of using Divisi with this library? Is it worth it? I think the entire selling point, besides the sound itself of this library, is that it does have Divisi. So you gotta have to decide for yourself whether you want to write in Divisi and want to get a true natural Divisi sound. And for sure, that comes at a price tag. Like I said in the beginning, this library is basically 3 string libraries in one. So it is a little bit more price intense, but you get like 3 times of a single library for that, even if it's all the same articulations, given that. But you can really have significantly different sounds with that. But whether Divisi for you in your writing is worth it, investing that kind of money, I cannot answer that for you. That is something you have to decide for yourself. And the new recordings, which are the shorts, sound significantly different than the Tuttis in terms of, at least with the spiccato. We don't get that much more of a spicatissimo sound. So if you did find the original, let me show you like this, the original violin spiccato a little bit too sharp, too short, you can now layer that with the Divisi section and therefore get a little bit of a smoother sound. Or just use both Divisi sections instead of the Tutti one, which gives you entirely just this new spiccato sound. It's like having now staccato, spiccato, and spicatissimo. So basically 3 short articulations if we look at the full section again with a spiccato. That was a lot of violins. Let's go to the other patches, and I think this library is best served by just writing a little bit with it, showing how it fares, and see how it behaves. I don't have all the long Tutti patches. I actually just loaded all the Divisi sections, and I need to add a few Tutti ones along the way. Keep in mind that these patches go through my processing chain. There's a little bit of tweaking involved. There's a little bit of Berlin Studio and a little bit of reverb. So these are a little bit more processed than the sounds right of the library. But what I want to do is kind of come up with an idea of something melodic, string driven, to really see, can I write with this and what does it sound like? So let's quickly just give it a try to see if it works. Okay, that works. Let's take a listen to the Celli. And actually what I want to do is, let me quickly duplicate this. I want to bring in the Tutti Celli because I haven't had them in here yet. So that's the way I'm going to do it going forward, basically, with all these patches. They are hosted in a single instrument of sine, so I can just duplicate it. It will keep all the settings that I had before. Jump straight into the mixer, delete the other microphone positions that I don't need, and then I just grab the articulations that I want to have in this one. I already created an expression map for these, so I'm just trying to stick to what I did there. So that means marcato, tremolo, and trills. I have one patch for the longs and one patch for the shorts. So trills go there. So now this patch is done. If I reset this to the beginning, if we look at the mixer, you will see that it brings down the volume of the channel a little bit, based on my settings in my template for gain staging and things like that. So we have the violins 1 long, the violins 2 long, the celli long. I'm missing the violas. So I'm gonna do this quickly. And for the basses, I probably not even bother. Maybe I keep them just on Divisi, 3 basses each. But I want to have these long tuttis, and maybe for the shorts as well. So we will address that along the way. So quickly remove that. Put in, come on, there we go. Mr. Wallfisch, violas, long, tutti. Take my own mix. Again, my own mix that I did is all these 4 microphone positions, close, tree left, right, tree center, outrigger at default, and then just mix down. So it's basically this setting in one. And that's also something that I really like about the Sign Player. If you want to have a different mix later down the line, maybe less room, more close, or vice versa, you can just create different submixes, like more dry, more wet. 3 more submixes, and you can possibly, when you're done with your submixes, you can probably even delete the original mic positions and just keep the ones that to save some space if you need to. So that is pretty cool, but I'm gonna keep them for now to just be able to change up on the fly if I want to have a different microphone sound for these patches. For me, to be honest, they probably gonna be a big part of my template going forward. I really, really love the sound. They are the closest thing that I have in terms of sample libraries that sound very close to actual live recordings that I have for other tracks of mine, where I compared them, and it's very, very close to the real thing. So I like that. We have the celli long. Okay, let's keep going from here. So just to compare, that is the violin 2 long. Versus Divisi. Second. Both Divisis together. And you can technically put the Tutti section and the Divisis together, which gives an even bigger sound. So technically that's 24 second violins now. Maybe with a little bit of tremolo. Very, very nice. Let's check the celli. Check the charts, for example. That's actually a good question. Is there actually any other library that differentiates between up and down bow? I think East-West Hollywood Strings does that. They have bow change legato. I think they do that as well. So, and again, with the, I should probably just quickly load up the Tutti Celli. So, sorry, I didn't manage to do that before the stream. I should have prepped that beforehand. But it's a fast workaround. It's not that it's gonna take ages. So we're gonna go in here, Celli, Tutti, spicatto, staccato, Pizzicato, mixer, my mix, delete the others. Versus both Tutti sections. So what I like is with the Tutti sections, even if you just use one, you can get a little bit more definition to the Tutti section. Really nice. And then the basses, they are very, very good and low. Little trick, or not trick, little something maybe you're not aware. I like the custom, isn't that a word? Customizability of the sign player. So I'm used to Cinematic Studio Strings having the basses shifted an octave up. So basically when you play a cello note, and add the basses to that, you get the lower octave on the same note. So it's basically shifted by an octave. This is not the case right from the get-go when you load a patch. So when I go with the Tutti basses, for example, and want to load these basses, Tutti, spicatto, staccato, and pizzicato. So, and as we can see in the range here, these go down to C0. And what happens is that the key switches automatically jump up to somewhere C6 there. I don't like that. So what I can do in the sign player, if you're not aware, you have these little handles up here. And I'm gonna basically change the pattern for the basses so that they are shifted by an octave so that I get the octave lower when I play the same key. So I grab just this and move this up. Unfortunately, one thing, orchestral tools, if you're listening, if I have several patches and I do that, I want this to happen on all the patches and not to have to click every single one and have to move it. I just want to do it one time. So if there's any way to make that a little easier, I would appreciate that. So now I can grab my key switches and move them back to C0. So now I have a little bit more consistency and have the same key switches for all the short patches. And I can just switch and swap MIDI data around, which is then very convenient to do so. So that is done. No, it's not done. I have to change the mic position. There we go. So now I have my Tutti basses, shorts, in the same octave or an octave higher or sounding an octave lower as the Celli. That's some nice sound there. So if I put these together, I get the if we want to compare that just quickly to the Metropolis Arc lows, which is celli and basses in the same room, might be interesting. I haven't done that myself yet. So let's go to low strings, spicatto. I'm missing the outriggers on these. I think the mix was all mic positions. Yeah. That is Metropolis Arc, and this is the Tutti basses and Celli from Wallfisch. And if we want to go really crazy, we can basically do it for all of them and play the Divisi sections as well as the Tutti sections at once. That's 6 patches just for the lows in octaves. So let's see how that sounds like. So you have your built-in arc patch, but the cool thing is you have more control. With arc, you are bound to the sound. It's this or die. With this, I can change the section sizes and I could even go crazy and make this all ultra wide. I could say, okay, you guys basses go to the right. You guys here go to the left. I keep the Tutti in the center. Then I send my cello B to the left a little more, the cello A to the right, and maybe the celli just a little bit to the right and the Tutti a little bit to the left. So now you get a huge stereo field. If I put that on 127, also keep in mind on these patches, I don't have any reverb. This is all the built-in reverb that comes with the sign player itself, with the mic positions. It's also one of the reasons why I love working with orchestral tools. I don't need additional reverb on these patches. They sound great as they are. All right, so let's keep going. Let's delete this Metropolis Arc. We don't need it. And what did I say? Let's write a little bit. So let's get down an idea. I'm thinking something along the lines of documentary style. Actually, Benjamin did some cues for Hostile Planet, Hostile Earth. What's it called? Similar to Bleeding Fingers' Life on Earth. No, Earth. Spitfire, BBC Earth. The Hans Zimmer soundtrack. And Mr. Wallfisch did very similar. And these are very nice sounds, nice soundtracks. So I'm thinking a little bit along the line of, let's think of something nature, documentary style, something positive, uplifting. I don't want to go dark or sad, so we want to do something happy. So let's come up with an idea. Not on 127. Okay. Just trying to find like a basic mood to get going. Maybe I could give you a piano overlay so you kind of get an idea of what I'm doing. I think I like this. So going in. Oh, I do like that. So starting on G, G major. Going to D minor with a 6 on top, with a B there. C major 9 with a 3rd bass. To C minor 7 to D sus. Okay, let's sketch that out. Finding a tempo. 100. Let's see. That's too fast. 90. Oh, maybe we do double time. Okay, let's do this. So let's record a sketch so we have something to work with. Okay, and then repeat. Rinse and repeat. So I'm gonna do this. Just quantize that. And this really is just a starting point to get us somewhere. Would it help if I put the chords in the chord track up there? Let me know if that's helpful. I did a little bit of like vring. Maybe I just keep it. Maybe I don't quantize it. Okay, so that basically is the main melody, I guess. So we could put this into the Celli, Tutti. Yeah, let's try that. So, and I'm gonna take care of these different legato up and down and things like that a little later. So I'm gonna start just with a... All right, let's try that. Click is on. Here we go. Okay, I did only one bar pause there. Maybe I change that. Okay, gonna do that again. I didn't like that. So, yeah, let's try with the Tutti once more. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I already have these at minus 140. That's kind of roughly what I figured for the track delay for the Celli, for the legato. And I'm going to hard quantize these because one thing that makes more sense when these are hard quantized is to change the bow direction, because otherwise I would have to manually move that around to make that fit with the notes. And so I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this right on the grid and have my up and down bow like this. So just go through quickly and change my bow direction for each of these manually to have a little bit of variation in there. So it sounds like this now. And there's a few overlaps that I need to fix. Make sure that my expression is all the way up. I didn't record expression for that. I only do that occasionally when I really need to dig in a little deeper into more dynamic range. Other than that, I try to leave it untouched. Something like here. Here I would probably bring the expression down a little bit. Like this, just to have a little bit of a more of a fade. Kind of like this. So there we miss the legato transition. There. Okay, that looks all good. And since the MIDI is the same now and consistent between these articulations, I can just move this down and check, okay, how does that sound on just the Divisi section, for example. Or on both. I don't like the re-triggering of that one note. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to glue these together. I think I like that better if that note is held. Yeah. That sounds like a little bump there, that transition. So I'm just gonna leave that be and try to make that on its own. Sometimes no legato sounds better than legato. In this case, at least I feel that way. So let's add a little bit to it. It's a little bit empty, right? It's just the main melody there. I don't want to go right in with an octave layer first. We could do that, and if we are really, really lazy, we could basically just copy that over to the violins and shift that an octave higher. We're probably going to do that later, but for now, let's try to create a little bit of an atmosphere. So I'm going to use the violins 2, but I'm going to use the Divisi. So I'm going to split that up. One is going to do tremolo, and the other one is going to be trills. Very, very subtle. So let's see. If we have G, G major to D minor, G major to D minor, then we stay on C9. So I could, for the most part, basically have a pedal note going with G and D. Maybe turn to the A there on the D minor. And we have G9, C9. So just figuring out which notes I want to keep. I want to try to have that as much pedal as possible. Much pedal as possible. That's a tongue breaker right there. And do that very, very quietly in the background. So switch that to tremolo. So here we go. Very, very cool. I like that. And then adding trills to the second layer. And I have to change the performance here because I don't have, that's CC2 that I have here. So there we go. So if I want to change between minor and major trills, so for this, I'm probably going to add in expression as well. So I have it really on silence. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the key switch, which is here, F#0. Move the CC2 all the way up so it gives me major trills. And then hit the D note so we get a trill on D and E. And then use mod wheel and expression at the same time to make it really, really subtle. So I mean, it's barely audible in the full mix. If I solo these two, and a lot of that is more improvised than anything else. But if we listen just to these two violin layers, sorry, to these two violin layers, this is what they sound like. That's the tremolo. I went a little too quiet on this one. So what I'm going to do is just edit that curve slightly. So like this. Yeah, that's better. So very, very quiet, but hopefully effective. Let's have a quick look how we're looking with the giveaway. So in case you don't know, and if you joined later, Orchestra Tools were kind enough to provide a giveaway copy of this library for today. All you have to do is comment !join in the chat, and you will be put onto a list which currently holds 46 entries. So at the end of the stream, I am going to just hit a button and select a random winner that will get a free copy of the library. All you have to do, if you are the chosen one, is to get in touch with me on Facebook through my composing tutorials page, send me an email, send me a message, and then I'll hook you up with Orchestra Tools, and then you can enjoy your new free, beautiful string library. So let's go back to writing. Let's use a few pizzicato basses. What is going on? Why is something else still playing? All right, and I need to make sure that I bring my experimental pannings back to where they were before. So don't have them there. Okay, Tutti, basses, pizzicato. Try to be very subtle with that. So let's record that. So even with this little note stuff, I managed to come too late with that G. Have a quick look at the velocities. Even them out a little. Make sure that it did record my key switch, which is here. It did. Okay. So all right, let's do a little bit of counter movement there. So violas oftentimes are a little bit underrepresented, so let's give them a little more to do, right? right, so that has to come later. One, two. How much time do we have? 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, so I'm gonna come in on the 6 and okay, let's do this. No, I don't like that, but I do like that little line. I have an idea. I should have stayed on the G there. Like this. I like that. Let's do the same thing. We do up and down. Let's start with up. See how it sounds. I think the mod wheel came in a little too late. Did I do mod and expression? No. Just to make sure, put the expression on full. Oh, I'm hearing already something. I want to add a... I mean, that's the main melody. Kind of like hearing this. Something like that. So let's see. We go. Well, I'm not going to do this in the violins. Actually, we have the Divisi, so let's have the violas splitting up there. So I'm going to copy this over. But from this G on, I'm going to re-record this viola part. So something like this. I want to go down. I feel like I want to rather go down. Something like this. Not the B there. Let's try this. No, that wasn't it. it starts to go somewhere. So I'm gonna move this C here. See if I messed up the mod wheel a little bit. So just straighten that out a little bit. There we go. And I didn't finish this viola part, sadly. And I also messed something up here because I think I want to have it like this. So I'm gonna put this in time and gonna make sure that we have our up and down back at where it should be. Overall, I don't think it's too complicated with the up and down bow. With the key switch map, if you put it on the grid and have the track delay taken care of, it kind of works pretty flawless. And that G, I want to have a little bit of more mod wheel action going on here. So I'm gonna delete this, just record over it. So that's better. Let me quickly mute the piano and listen to just the strings. Still some holds in there, but I probably want to fill with a Celli. Okay, try that. Ah, yeah, I like that. Very subtle. So now, but we're getting there. Slower. Oh, that is pretty beautiful. I do like it. Not sure if I keep it, but we have something to start with. Let's put them all on the grid. Mess that up. Again, expression map. So we start legato, up, down, up, down, up. down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Yep. So all together. Hello, Hanu. Not sure if I like the F there. That might be a little bit too juicy. Just the strings. Probably I'm gonna give that a little bit of time. So now I should probably add the second Divisi Celli here to fill out some of these notes. Basically the roots. Okay, let's do this. Very quiet. I have better ways of recording mod wheel. Didn't like that. So maybe I go the octave lower there. So try again. Always forget that I didn't leave enough space there. But more than I thought. Holy cow. All right. I mean, that's a pretty nice sounding intro so far. Pretty happy with where this is going. So same thing, I'm going with legato up and down again. Well, actually, this doesn't have to be because I messed this up. I started too early. This should have been going on till here. So going there, there, there. So again, just these long strings in solo. Yep. There we go. There's a big hole in here. That F sharp is not coming through the way I wanted it. Probably gonna change the... That's why... Oh no, that's the very subtle tremolo layer from the violin. Oh, we have a MIDI error. Panic. It's not this one, it's this one. Yeah. Thank you. Panic. So, let's add a long string. The only thing, honestly, the only thing that I'm missing from this library, which would be a no-brainer for me if that had, I mean, it's a no-brainer anyway. Didn't have to think about testing this out. But harmonics. It would be so cool if they had sampled harmonics. But these soft layers of the sustains can hold for it as well. So let's try this. Very, very subtle. I know that, but I think it works. It's very, very beautiful. Fragile, even. Maybe I duplicate that. Maybe I do that with both Divisi. I always struggle saying Divisi after I say a word with TH. The Divisi. The Divisi. Hey, greetings to Switzerland from Spain, from the German guy. Checking in. Where are we with a giveaway? How many people have entered? We are looking at 50 entries. I will be honest, I would have expected a few more, but well, it is what it is. So more chances for you. Right now you have a 1 in 50 chance to win a $600 library. That's something you don't have every day. If you don't know how, type !join in the chat. And if you're getting drawn at the end with a giveaway, good luck, of course. And then you just get in touch with me through the Composing Tutorials Facebook page. Send me a message there, and then we can set you up. All right, so that should be one more. Yes, 51 entries. There we go. Okay, let's listen back. One thing that I want to do on that C part, I want to bring in some pizzicato, and I want to have them wandering through the sections. So starting off on the violas, doing recording that only on the violas, and then I will distribute that later. So I actually didn't like that, so that one has to go. So let's hard quantize that. Let's go with velocity. Velocity, there we go. That goes there, and all right, that's kind of what I mean. So I'm going to copy that over to the violins 2 short, mute the first 4 and the last 4. And then on the viola, I'm going to mute these upper ones. So now we have them going through viola and violins. Okay, kind of like this. And we need to take care of the dynamics a little bit. They are a little loud, so they don't need to slam as hard. So let's bring them down. Easy, guys. You don't need to kill yourself. Just a little bit of tapping slightly on the fretboard. So we could probably double that in the sections, so have that both Divisi sections playing. I want to add just one more trill layer. In half step. Let's try that. Very subtle. What happened? Did it not record my key? No, it didn't record the key switch. Damn you! Yeah, like this. Okay, now that ending there is going on far too long. You be quiet here. Shh. No, no talking. Quiet. There we go. All right, all together. Okay, these are all very, very quiet, so I'm going to up just the volume of these. We are -1, so I'm going to push that to 5. So now it's going to be a little bit louder because the overall track was very, very quiet. I probably will go on with that. I do like that style of writing, and that is just an intro for a track. But for now, that shall be enough to kind of showcase how these behave in a mix, in a more subtle, soft, somber piece. I actually wanted to write something happy. Sorry for that. I messed up. So let's listen again. Here's... I actually just got an idea. we could do, we could actually harmonize these guys. Cool little trick. I think, does that work? Can I tell Cubase that this thing is the, oh, I don't bother just moving this up. So just checking in. So this is major. All right, so what I did is basically just moved the whole scale in the Divisi section a third higher. So now we have it harmonized. So I just heard that this could be a little bit more elaborate sounding, having a little bit of harmony in there. So that part again. And I mean, I intentionally kept these long notes because that's one of the ultimate selling points for the library, is to have these long non-looping sustains. So that's why I kept it going for a little bit longer than I probably would. Anyway, that sounds rather lovely, don't it? I like it very much. I used it on another piece already that you can find on my YouTube channel, the latest track that I released there. Features actually, or has quite a lot of Benjamin Wallfisch Strings. And actually, let's quickly load that project and let's play that. I'm going to save this. And meanwhile, we use the time to have a little bit chat about what's going to come, which is the drawing of the giveaway winner, I would say. I have to quickly check where we are. First of all, let me open that project. So, and then we can at least listen to a track where I used more than just a few longs. There it is. There it is. There it is. The One Who Remains is the name of the track. That's the one that I uploaded to YouTube. And that's where I tried basically the new settings for Benjamin Wallfisch Strings. And so last call, basically, if you want to grab a copy of this library, all you have to do is go to the chat, type !JOIN, join. !join. And in terms of your chances, we are looking at 58 entries currently. So pretty good chances to grab a really, really good library. Which is my final take on this. So what is my thought process, or what are my thoughts on this library? And again, I did get the copy from Orchestral Tools, but my thoughts are my own, and I say what I think about libraries. But I think that this is really something special that they have under their hands there. Like I said in the beginning, I don't think that this is an entry-level library or your bread and butter string library. There are others that do a similar, if not better job at covering all possible bases that you need for your work. There's a few articulations that I would love to see that this library does not have. But with the new update, everything is there that you need to write some proper strings. So from the shorts to pizzicato, you could push that further. Of course, you could add some Bartok, some Colenio for the short articulations, maybe a little bit more martelli, or like the in between staccato and marcato. things like that. But I mean, this thing is a beast already because of these longs and the microphone positions that you get. The sound is phenomenal. The sound of these microphones, especially the Benjamin Wallfisch mix. I didn't show the raw mics today because I haven't downloaded them. I did try them out before, and they are what is written on the tin. They are really the raw recordings that you can basically shape any way you like. It's basically when you have a recording session, live recording session, like last year I did one in, no, this year I did one in Budapest, for example. When you get these live recorded strings, they are as raw as it gets. So like Mike in the hall, get it on board and then send it to you. This is as raw as it gets, and these raw microphones from the Benjamin Wallfisch Strings pretty much sound like that, exactly. But you need to be very good at mixing if you want to mix these signals and kind of shape them to your sound, which was what Benjamin has done with his mixes. So you get both. You get the raw mixes and his approach on how he would mix it. And his mixes sound spectacular. I mean, you listened to it before, and we can listen a little bit more on this one. But these strings sound absolutely stunning. Cannot say otherwise. And so it is definitely a library that needs a beefier system, I would say, especially when you work with multiple mic positions. The SignPlayer helps in that regards with a mic merging, which I used extensively. So for that part only have a quarter of the necessary RAM footprint for these patches because I have 4 microphone positions mixed down to 1 position. So that works significantly better. And let's jump in and take a listen to that track where I used the strings. There's a bit of other stuff going on as well. There's a little bit of brass and other instruments. Actually, let's just show the tracks that have data. There we go. So, and I rendered a bunch of that to audio already. I also did that track because I wanted to try the new Porphyra synth, which I intend to do a stream on as well some point in the future. Gonna cover that, but let's take a quick listen with a focus on the strings. This part up here, all these are the Benjamin Wallfisch strings, and they are audio, but all the instruments are still there in MIDI. And I used the same setup that I just did on this other track, which is all 4 mic positions in mixed down to 1, but all at the default position. I'm not really sure if I accidentally clicked on my licenses, if my Cubase just broke because of that. I shouldn't have clicked there. Where are we? Okay, we're coming back. We're coming back. We're not crashing. How many CPU cores? And I have an 12900 Intel 9 processor with 128 gigs of RAM. So, okay, again, mixer, here we have close tree, outrigger, and then I'm using my mix down with these mics at default position. So let's play that little cue there. I do layer them with fluid shorts from performance samples, but for the most part, it's Benjamin Wallfisch Strings. Library as well, which I haven't talked about yet. That's something we're gonna look at next week, which is stress of samplings, string contours, which is also an amazing library, but that's topic for next week. I used that in this track as well. That little line from the cello here is very similar to what we just did on stream. So let's check where we're at with entries. 61. That's a good chance. Yeah, it definitely has a little bit of a Middle Eastern vibe. Not necessarily inspired by that, but just had this idea of this like full track based on 2 chords. So going from C minor, the whole track is basically just 2 chords going back and forth. And actually I'm leaving out the 3rd on the C. And then just jumping up a half step. And keeping the 7 on top. So the whole track starts like this. And that's everything that happens throughout the track. Like I said, I did use the string contours, which we're going to check out next week or the week after. I cannot promise yet, but amazing library. So gonna look at that. Just the Wallfisch strings on their own, and especially in the last part. So lots of stuff going on here. Yeah, so that is Benjamin Wallfisch Strings in context of a track. Really like the sound of these. So I think it's time to call it in. So the giveaway, the way it works, just so you know, there's no ill intent involved or whatever. I have no say whatsoever who's going to be the winner. The only thing that happens is I am going to stop the entries now, or maybe I wait just a moment for anyone who came late. If you want to join the party and want to get a copy, giveaway copy of Benjamin Wallfisch Strings, type !join in the chat. Right now we are looking at 61 entries. So 3, 2, 1. I mean, there's a delay to YouTube, so I should keep that in mind. No, know what? Stop. No more entries. So I stopped it. And that means now when we look at no more entries allowed, 61 entries in the draw, and all I have to do is click on select winner here, and then we get a random winner, right? That's what we're gonna do. I could probably play some music. Next time we will have music when we have a giveaway. I can configure that here to play a tune when the winner is selected. We don't have that yet. So all we can do is like just press our thumbs and toes together, and whoever ends up winning this, good luck. And don't forget, if your name is chosen, get in touch with me on the Composing Tutorials Facebook page. If you're not aware what that is the channel you're watching, and that is the channel's Facebook page, where you can get in touch with me to claim your prize if you are the winner. So let me post that in the chat actually. So I'm gonna go here and here. So that is where the winner has to get in touch with me so I can hook you up with orchestral tools. Long story short, let's do this. The winner of Benjamin Wallfisch Strings by Orchestral Tools is Aussie Boy 64. Congratulations. You are the proud owner of a new string library. Get in touch through Facebook, as I said. Drop me an email, a message, and then I'll hook you up with orchestral tools. Congratulations, Aussie Boy. Very well done. And I don't know if you're still around. I think I can definitely tag you and do this. Oh, there we go. So, Aussie, please let me know your name in the comments, and no, just write to me on Facebook, and then we get you sorted. Congratulations. So that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in and checking out this library with me. I think it's really, really good. Someone asked before, worth the money? I cannot tell you if it's worth the money for you. For what you're getting, the price, in my opinion, is justified. 3 different string libraries, fully fledged with all articulations, with all these microphone choices and positions, with the name Benjamin Wallfisch attached to it. I mean, these are Benjamin mixes, which is also something that you don't get your hands on every day. It is for sure not the bedroom producer library that everyone and the kitchen sink wants to have. It is a professional tool, for sure. And a really good sounding at that. So thanks for the reminder. Yeah, of course. Click like if you don't have. Subscribe to the channel. We do these giveaways hopefully more often in the future. I have a bunch of new sample libraries to look at in the coming weeks. So look forward to seeing you on the next one. And more music is coming up as well. Definitely wanna put out some more stuff. So very excited about this. Thank you, everyone. And I see you very, very soon. Bye-bye.